makes a kingdom? Its king, its inhabitants, or its history? In this land, time is convoluted. Kingdoms will rise and kingdoms will fall. But whilst everything around us changes, all things light and dark will stay. It is said the light and dark are one and the same, or so they would have us believe. We do not know what the dark or light truly holds in store. We have merely brushed the surface of this vast ocean of knowledge. We stand in the shallow looking for answers, but there are so few. To find the answers we seek, we must wade into its depths and succumb to the darkness to once again find the light. But for those who have neither the nerve nor the patience, there has been talk of another, a scholar, someone willing to teach us and guide us through this journey. Take heed, for we know not who this scholar is, yet we make assumptions, converse in speculation, and theorize, possibly all to a fault. But nevertheless, we try, and the ideas that follow next shall be trying indeed. Many years ago, during the reign of King Vendrick, the undead curse ran rampant throughout Drain Lake, and even still to this day, Vendrick's goal was to find a means to breaking the curse once and for all. Together with his eldest brother Aldia, they conducted experiments on the curse. Vendrick found a way within the crowns, but was unable to fully harness their power to spread it across the land. So he scattered them across Drain Lake, keeping the key to all of them in his possession, to keep them safe from anyone who would use their power for injustice, in hopes that someday, someone befitting enough would bring them back together again. Meanwhile, Aldia conducted experiments of his own in a more abhorrent fashion. Aldia created mighty abominations, mutating undead subjects, turning them into malformed beasts. Tampering with the fabric of life, he questioned mortality and expanded his horizons to those of the ancient dragons. Aldia aimed to cure the curse through means of transmutation, the transmutation of giants, dragons, and humans. His methods were shameful and fruitless up until his crowning failure. Shanalot, the Emerald Herald, is a creation born from Aldia's keep, born from dragons and contrived by man. That man was Aldia. Shanalot was a failed experiment to Aldia, as the crowns were to Vendrick. But whilst Vendrick studied the light, Aldia studied the darkness. Vendrick locked Aldia away for his misdeeds and sealed him within his own keep. Aldia, persistent on his research, began to study the origins of this land, unrelentingly experimenting with dragons and giants, even humans and humanity along with them. Some like to think Aldia is the one who goes by the name Navlan. I believe this to be untrue. Navlan may have another name, but I don't believe it to be Aldia. I believe Navlan was the owner of the locked house in Majula, but went insane, destroying the entire town with banished hexes orchestrated by his other half, Navlan. Navlan enlists you to kill Kale the cartographer, the one who gives you the key to the house. Could it be that Navlan wants Kale dead because he had his key stolen from him? It would be petty, but we know that anyone who wrongs Navlan pays the price. What I really think is that Navlan the persona was another failed experiment of Aldia's, and was set free upon Majula to be tested as the subject of a twisted experiment. As for the theory that Aldia is the ancient dragon, this makes no logical sense. Upon the boss's death, it drops petrified dragon bone and the soul of a giant. Two of the exact things Aldia was using in its experimentations. While it may have been a creation of Aldia's, it does not drop his soul or the dragon's. I think we still have yet to see Aldia. He is a key component to the lore, and his absence within the game leaves a large gap in the story. As stated previously, Aldia studied a method to break the curse of undeath. And if we recount episode 1, where I believe the first sin to be humanity, or at least something that stems from the dark soul, then we can see that the fragmentation of the dark soul led to the birth of the curse, which in turn circles back around to what Aldia was studying in the first place. And as we know, a scholar is best known for studying, researching, and even experimenting, which is everything and more that Aldia held in his repertoire. Not only this, but take a look at the European box art for Scholar of the First Sin. This man doesn't appear to be Vendrick. He is wearing cleric's robes and holding the king's crown in a fashion similar to that of mourning. This could signify that since Vendrick is dead, it makes sense to have a family member bear his crown. And who better to do that than his eldest brother Aldia? This man looks similar to Vendrick, but a little older, and he also seems to be a mage of sorts, whereas Vendrick was a warrior. Although Aldia has yet to be seen, I feel the box art is symbolic of a brother's bond. Everyone hoped that Vendrick would be outed with the Crown's trilogy, and he was. Could we now be getting the same treatment with Aldia and Scholar of the First Sin? Now for the most important part of this theory, the explanation of how the creature shown in the trailer may be Aldia, or at least a connection to him. Let's start with a few item descriptions from Aldia's keep. Aldia Key. Key used in the mansion of Aldia. King Vendrick condemned his own elder brother to the mansion. They both sought the truth but through different means, and their fervor meant the eventual withering of their family ties. The last line of this description could refer to why the creature makes no reference to Vendrick as a brother, as both their brotherly and familial ties faded away in anguish over time. Aldia Hammer. Hammers used by Aldian acolytes, not used as a weapon, but as an instrument to dissect the bodies of the victims of their experimentation. They say that Lord Aldia was the king's elder brother and helped found Drain Lake, but he later lost interest in the land's fortunes. The important part of this description is that Aldia later lost interest in the land's fortunes. Could this mean he gave up his royalty to spend his time on his studies and experiments? Dragon Acolyte Mask. Mask worn by acolytes of Aldia. Several of the greatest minds converged in Aldia to weave strange new rituals, but rumors suggest that during the course of their work, their thoughts were not their own. This item description is interesting for 3 reasons. 1. The acolytes performed ritual sacrifices, but during this process their minds were not their own. This could refer to how Navlan may have been a ritualist, how he gained a second persona. 2. Ritual sacrifices were performed within Aldia. This could mean Aldia performed a ritual on himself. 3. Read the item description below. At first, I thought this item description may have been referring to Aldia as a place, but what if several of the greatest minds literally converged within Aldia the man? Although this idea is quite far-fetched. What if Aldia took part in a ritual sacrifice, in turn destroying his body but giving him access to all the knowledge from the greatest minds in Drain Lake? This could be why the creature in the trailer has a body that is so disfigured. Another possibility may be that Aldia grieved for his brother upon his hollowing, and experimented on trying to break the curse once more. Only this time he experimented on himself, and whilst in mourning, something went wrong. And since it has been confirmed that the Scholar is in fact an already established character, it might be safe to say that we are finally getting an NPC that is of significant worth to the lore, game world, and the Souls community. For one of my final points, I present the screenshots from the Scholar of the First Sin playtest. We have either met, read about, or heard about this thing. Referencing Vengal of Ferosa, the Prince and Princess of Alkin and Ven, possibly? All that stemmed from humanity? That's more than questionable. They assumed the form of man, not hollow. Humans are a lie, the facade of a fake world. It seems as if he knows everything about the land and history, as he should. He questions what it is to be a king, questioning even Vendrick. It's hard to say if this is Aldia, but he references Vendrick almost as Nishandra does. And so we reach the final theory. It's just a quick, simple theory. In the trailer we start with the dragon memory and then onto Aldia's keep. Everything in between can either be interpreted as trailer filler or symbolic as a journey. But then we see the creature in the undead crypt and finish at the dragon shrine. Dragon memory, Aldia's keep, undead crypt, and the dragon shrine. It may be nothing at all, or they may be all related towards Aldia, who this NPC may be. Thanks for watching. We really hope you guys enjoyed this 2-part series in Scholar of the First Sin. There's more videos to come, so if you haven't subscribed already, we'd really appreciate it if you did so. It helps us out a lot. And for everyone that has already, we can't thank you enough for all your appreciation. See you guys in the next video.